If every label, every role, every expectation disappeared, who would you be in the silence? And if the self could speak, what would it tell you that you've been too busy to hear? Reflection 1. The illusion of knowing yourself. There's a question that many of us avoid, not because it's unimportant, but because it's uncomfortable. How truly do you know yourself? We walk through life wearing names, labels, and roles. I'm a parent. I'm a manager. I'm a friend. I'm an achiever. These words become the mirrors we use to identify ourselves. But are they really us? Or are they just the costumes we wear for the world? When you were a child, you didn't think in terms of labels. You simply lived. You laughed because you found something funny. You cried when something hurt. You played because play was joy. You didn't filter your actions for approval. You were just you. But as we grew, we learned to edit ourselves. Teachers told us to sit quietly. Parents taught us to be polite. Friends expected us to act a certain way to belong. Society whispered rules about what was acceptable and what was not. And slowly, we confused those edited versions of ourselves for the truth of who we are. Pause here. Ask yourself, who would I be if all my roles disappeared tomorrow? If my job ended, my titles vanished, if no one's opinion defined me, what would be left? That moment of silence can feel uncomfortable. But discomfort is often the doorway to self-discovery. Write in the comments. If all your labels were gone, what's one word you would use to describe yourself? Reflection 2. The mirror of the mind. Our minds are extraordinary complex landscapes. Inside, we hold memory, imagination, reasoning, fear, joy, and desire. Each thought is like a brushstroke, painting the picture of how we see ourselves. But here's the challenge. We rarely pause to look at the canvas. We live reacting to stimuli around us. What someone said at work, what we saw online, the comparison we made with a neighbor. And without realizing it, our thoughts shape our identity more than reality ever does. Think about this. The mind is both a creator and a critic. It gives us visions of who we could be, and it also whispers reminders of our flaws. You're not good enough. You'll never measure up. Why even try? Those voices become louder the less we know ourselves. Imagine your mind as a house with many rooms. Some rooms are full of light, creativity, joy, hope. Others are dim, cluttered with past regrets, unhealed wounds, and memories we avoid. Now ask yourself, when was the last time I walked through those rooms? Do I even know what's inside? Or am I letting others rearrange the furniture while I stand outside? Knowing yourself means having the courage to walk into every room, even the dark ones. Which room of your mind do you want to visit more often? Joy, creativity, calm, courage? Reflection 3. Stories we tell ourselves. Every human being carries stories. Stories about who we are, what we're worth, and what's possible for us. Some of these stories are inherited, told by family, culture, or circumstance. Others are self-written, crafted through experiences of success and failure. But here's the truth: not all stories we carry are true. A man once told me he always believed he wasn't smart because as a child he struggled with reading. For years he let that story define him. It influenced his choices, his confidence, his relationships. One day, as an adult, he revisited that story and realized his struggle wasn't about intelligence. He had simply needed a different learning style. Yet for decades, that single false story had shaped his entire life. How many of us are carrying stories that are half-truths or outright lies? I'm too old to change. I'm unlovable. I'm a failure. I'm not creative. These are not facts. They are stories. And stories can be rewritten. In the comments, share one story you're ready to challenge or rewrite. Reflection 4: the cost of living on autopilot. Many of us drift through life like passengers on autopilot. Wake up, work, scroll, sleep. Repeat. We don't stop to ask, why am I doing this? What does this mean for me? Does this align with who I truly am? When we live on autopilot, disappointment and resentment slowly creep in. We feel drained, but we don't know why. We feel restless, but we're afraid to make changes. But here's a secret: your life isn't waiting for permission to move forward. Every day you drift is a day of lost alignment. Knowing yourself requires you to take back the controls, to live with intention, not by default. Write in the comments. What's one habit in your life that feels like autopilot right now? Reflection 5: the power of reflection. Self-knowledge isn't found in chaos. It's found in reflection. When was the last time you sat in silence without your phone, without music, without distractions, and just asked yourself, what am I feeling? What do I want? What do I need? Most people avoid silence because it reveals truths we'd rather ignore. But silence is a teacher. It reminds us that beneath all the noise, we are still here. Whole. Breathing. Alive. Reflection is how we notice patterns, why certain things trigger us, why we fall into the same cycles, why we hold on to fears. And with awareness comes freedom. Because once you see a pattern, you can choose to change it. Share in the comments. Do you ever take time for silence? What happens when you do? Reflection 6: the authentic self. Knowing yourself doesn't mean having all the answers. It means being brave enough to sit with the questions. It means understanding your values and honoring them even when no one else notices. It means showing up for yourself when it's difficult, not just when it's easy. It means letting go of masks and walking into the world with authenticity. And here's the truth. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real you. Because when you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. Write in the comments. What's one mask you're ready to take off? Reflection 7, the journey of becoming. So how truly do you know yourself? Maybe your answer is uncertain. Maybe you feel like you're only beginning. That's not failure. That's the beginning of growth. The journey of knowing yourself is lifelong. It develops with every season of life. You will outgrow versions of yourself. You will shed old stories. You will face truths that feel heavy at first, but eventually set you free. And every step of that journey deepens your ability to live with clarity, peace, and courage. Remember, your worth isn't defined by your job, your failures, or your titles. It's defined by your existence. And your existence is more than enough. Now our closing reflection. So I'll ask one last time. How truly do you know yourself? Pause. Reflect. Begin again. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below with the words, "I'm ready to know myself." And if you found value here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future reflections. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, you are more than your titles, more than your roles, more than your fears. You are you. And that's enough.